Hi, my name is Dr. Danny Fox, licensed psychologist in the state of Texas, expert in the area of personality disorders. And so today, what I wanted to do on this video is talk about resolutions. Now, we're coming up to a new year, but I think that goals and resolutions is something that we can focus on all year round. So what I did was I wanted to get the feel of some folks that have subscribed to my channel, and I sent something out to the community. And I said, hey, what do you folks think about resolutions? What is your view of them, and how do you interpret them, and how do you use them, or do you use them, and do you believe in them? And what I found, I was very pleasantly surprised actually, to see that a lot of folks didn't put a lot of stock in resolutions. And I think that resolutions can sometimes be confusing, or sometimes people don't plan well. And this happens all throughout the year too with goals, right? As we go through the year, we think about, okay, well, I want to do this differently. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start doing that. And we think about how we're going to do these things, but we don't always come up with a plan as to how we're going to do it. And that's the critical part. And that's where I was hoping that this video would help folks, because I think those particularly with personality disorders and BPD specifically, I think that they do have difficulty really sort of identifying goals sometimes. But once they're identified, also how to achieve them, how to work them out, but also think about what could be in the way, what could be preventing them from succeeding. So what I did is I created a worksheet, and the worksheet is designed to help you identify those goals that you want to achieve. Doesn't have to be just for the new year. It could be all year round, because goals are something I think that we encounter that we want to achieve all year round. And we don't want to just say, well, it's a new year, so it's a new me. And I think it's okay if you think that. I think that if you want to identify the new year as doing something different, I think that that's okay. Whatever helps to move folks forward. But I think the issue of resolution is that, okay, so I'm going to be resolved to be a new me, but there's no planning behind it. There's no identification. And when that happens, that becomes very surface structure. Right? And if you see my other videos, you know what I mean. So surface structure it's all of these behaviors and all of these issues, but also it's not deep to that core content that drives us forward. So what I did is in the worksheet that I created, it helps to identify some of those things that could be in the way, some of those things that can help to move you forward. And I'm going to go through the components of the worksheet now. There'll be a link in the comment section to the worksheet, so you can get it and you can utilize it. And please leave comments or subscribe to the channel to learn more about different worksheets that I've done or I've put out, or comments that you may have. That would be great. So let's get in to the worksheet. So the first part of the worksheet is that what you hope to achieve the following goals in the coming year. Now it is designed a little bit for the coming year, but it can be any time of year, right? The coming year or changes that you have coming up. Okay, so don't limit yourself and say, oh, well, the worksheet's just for the new year. It's not. It's for any time throughout the year that can help you. Okay, so that first component. The first part is, I hope to achieve the following goals in the coming year. So this could be in work, could be in relationships, could be your health, it could be anything. Now go from there to the next component, and this is the following behaviors have caused me problems in the past achieving my goals. And this could be excessive drinking, drugs, self-harm, poor impulse control, yelling, fighting, whatever it may be. So it's identifying these components that have held you back, prevented you from achieving those goals, because we want to identify what that is. So you increase your insight, increase your awareness. And the next component is the following feelings or emotions have caused problems for me in the past achieving my goals. Now this could be anger, could be jealousy, impatience, expectations, fears, whatever it may be. What emotions have come up that have prevented you? Now this is where you could add some core content. It's fears of abandonment, senses of emptiness, whatever it may be. This is where that core content can get in the way. Because remember, so maladaptive patterns and behaviors, maladaptive core content feeds the personality disorder components, or for BPD, it feeds those BPD or narcissistic personality, whatever it may be, feeds those maladaptive patterns that keep the personality disorder in place. So what is that? What are these emotions or feelings or components that prevent you from going forward and achieving your goals? So identify those. Now the next page is that I am resolved to, and this is where you would list your resolutions. What are you resolved to do? You want to identify your top 5 goals from page 1 to achieve. So what do you want to do? This does not have to be just in 2020, right? This can be any time going forward. This is a good goal sheet. So what are your 5 resolves that you're determined to achieve? What do you want to achieve? What are those resolutions, those goals? What are you resolved to achieve? Now the next page is the critical page, and this is the how-to. Okay, so now that you've identified what you're resolved, right, what your resolutions are, what your goals are, what you're resolved to achieve, now you're going to do how you're going to do it. Now on this page and the following page, so the last 2 pages, is you're going to list your resolution, right, what you're resolved to achieve, your goals, and then step 1, 2, and 3. Now I think it's good to be as concrete as you can. So what I mean by that is that you want to be as specific as you can to achieve that goal. And a lot of folks, they stop at page 2. They're like, all right, I'm resolved to be healthier. I'm resolved to not, freak out on my family or my mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, boyfriend, loved one, whoever it is. Okay, but you have to define what that is, okay, as concrete as possible. But how are you going to do it? What are you going to do? This could be those various steps, which is, okay, so step 1 is my core content gets activated, list that core content, right, which causes a sense of abandonment, fear, emptiness. Then I'm going to leave the situation, or I'm going to practice mindfulness, or I'm going to practice deep breathing. What are some effective strategies that you can employ to help yourself? And you're going to list those for each of those goals or resolutions, right, that you're resolved to achieve. And this will help you because the more concrete that you can list it, the more concrete you become, the better off you are and the more likely you are to achieve it. And that's what we want to do. We want to empower you with not only insight, but with the ability to achieve your goals. And you totally can. It may be hard sometimes, right? I mean, some goals are harder than others, but that doesn't mean that you can't do it. Doesn't mean that it's impossible. Doesn't mean that you have to continue to fall in to these maladaptive behaviors and patterns. And even if you have a resurgence of those maladaptive patterns, let's say you're doing well and you have a resurgence, a regression to those old behaviors, that's fine. I did a video on that happens too. I'll put the link here. But that you might go back to that, that's okay, because when you go back, we don't go all the way back to the beginning. We may go back just a little bit. And be patient with yourself. Encourage yourself. Make sure that you build your interpersonal system with people that want to help you, support you, and move you forward, not for their benefit, but for yours. And that can become the difficult part. Maybe that's one of your goals, right? One of your resolutions. And I hope that you found this helpful. Again, the link to the worksheet is in the comments below. I hope you find it useful. And thank you very much for your time. And I appreciate it. And Happy New Year, or happy goals, or stay firm with that resolve and be well. Thanks. Bye-bye.